As much as I've been enjoying hunting on Mississippi Acres Preserve, I thought it was about time today for a little break, and I wanted to come out here to Vurhonga Savanna and hunt one of the things that I really feel like has flown under the radar with this update, and that is the TruRACS Kudu. Now, I've never been a great kudu hunter in this game. I've kind of always just looked at them as opportunity kills, and I would imagine the fact that we actually spooked the first one that we ran into is kind of decent evidence of that, but I still think there should be a shot opportunity there. We've got the 30-06 Eckers today just to kind of switch it up, and we definitely got into the vitals there, and you can already see just with level 3, it's a whole lot different than what we were used to with the legacy racks, and I do think they look a lot better. We actually had an opportunity on stream kind of during the opening week of rifle season in PA when I was just streaming every day to kind of get out hunting and also make as much content on the new map and on the TruRACS Kudu as I possibly could, and we spent about an hour chasing them, and we did get to see a couple of decent ones. I'm kind of hoping from that, and also with a little more time spent today, maybe we can find one that is a little bit better than those, but we'll go and take a look at the level 3 and kind of look at the level of detail in the horns and how much more realistic they look. And like I said, I'm excited to actually, number one, see kind of the top end of what they can be, and also just show you guys what they look like. So I did actually notice that the lighting and the horns themselves actually look better on the ground than they do in the harvest screen. I think that's the case for a lot of species, but it really does show up on the kudu. So I wanted to show the ridges at the bases of the horns. Like, I think that's one of the most realistic parts that's been added to them. And then we'll go ahead and take a look here in the harvest screen. And like I said, it's just the lighting and stuff doesn't quite do them justice. They just don't look as good in the harvest screen. But I mean, at the end of the day, we have the trophy lodges, we have the screenshots if we take a picture of the animal on the ground, and these are kind of just there to show everything from the vitals to, I guess, potentially a rare for the fur type and all that. Now, there is a bit of a weird thing. At certain angles, the fur on like the neck and the ears and even the eyelashes of the kudu kind of has like a greenish tint. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but I haven't noticed it actually on any live kudu. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at with the new TruRACS, and I'm excited, like I said, to see some bigger ones, and hopefully we can get onto some higher scoring ones as we move along here. And straight away, we have a much better looking kudu out here at 134 to 146, and there's also a pair of level 3s behind him. And actually, right as I climbed into this tower, I had a warning call from, I guess, that guy. So the others, I believe, are far enough away to just go ahead and drop him. Hopefully at least the big 4 is not going to have heard that. They were like 250 meters away. That is him there. Kind of closing in on 200, so glad we took the shot when we did. That'll drop him. And actually what we need to do is go ahead and reload. The other two are kind of close together. So I'm thinking, well, now we should be okay to just sort of take our shots separately. I don't know if they've buffed the 30-06 or if maybe our shots are just kind of lucky where they've been landing. All of these are just insta drops, and then that one didn't even connect somehow. Alright. Guess that's what I get for talking up the gun a little bit. It's just a clean miss, but we ultimately killed 4 from here. And honestly, it was a really good coincidence that they happened to have been feeding near this tower. Now, I'm not sure why they were leaving. The kudu feed zone runs till 10:30. It's only 8 in-game. Now, there could have been maybe a lion that went through, and sometimes, even if they kind of just go attentive from that, they will actually move. But the key point there is, despite the fact that we shot for kudu, there's basically no hunting pressure due to the tower kind of reducing the amount that we get. So, the level 2, I don't know that we'll get for too long. Maybe as we just kind of run over to here through the brush, you just kind of see the beginnings of a kind of twist in the horns. And I mean, we can look at the scoring. That's a 118, so barely into the silver range. Gold is 132, so our level 4 is guaranteed, and diamond is 151.6. So I am kind of intrigued to look into their true score a little bit. I'd just rather do that on a higher scoring one, because I guess if diamond is only about like 30 bigger than that silver, I just wonder like where the score comes from. So I think this would have been our last level 3, which is a 124, just a little bit higher scoring and a little bit below gold, even though he's kind of got the first full spiral in his horns. They are a little bit of a different color though than the others, I think, which is good. We've kind of seen that with a couple of the different TruRACS horns variations where there are multiple horn colors. It just kind of adds to the variety, but this is our big one. And again, I want to kind of show it, like, for one, kind of like the ivory tips of the horns, and just, they shine so much better. They look so much more realistic, so much more just like the coloration and stuff you'd see on horns in real life, that it just isn't captured in the harvest screen. So actually we may, I guess we're going to have to do from this side to have better lighting, and he's not really laying the ideal way for that, but just take a quick screenshot to have that. Then we'll go into the harvest screen, and I want to look at the true score. So that is a 141.5 Kudu, about 10 below diamond there, double lung at 200, so I guess the 30-06 is just that good. Maybe it would have done that all the time, I'm not so sure, but the thing that I'm interested in, so the horn length is the main thing there. The horn length is about a third of the score. Spread matters, which is good, and then it's all down to circumference. That actually makes sense as to why some of the smaller Kudu score fairly high. The circumference kind of just starts to add up over those 4 measurement points, so that does indeed make sense to me. We'll go ahead and taxonomize that guy to maybe take a look at in the lodge at the end, just in case we don't see any that are bigger. And then somewhere back in here, I guess, would have been our other level 3. And at this point, we've now dropped 5 Kudus somehow. Like I said, I don't tend to be very good at hunting them. I just sort of hope to run into them. Thus far, we've kind of guessed right as far as the fields they may feed in. I think he called when I was talking there, and it's just such like a built-in thing in my brain at this point. When a Kudu calls, I don't really pay that much attention to it, because we've had a bunch of diamond Kudu and rare Kudu in the past, so I didn't even think to actually look at it. But that is, of course, the species that we're after today, and that might explain what was happening as far as them going alert earlier. Little level 4 line ran through. I did see the health on the one that we shot was starting to drop. That was a interesting little encounter there. And then we had to run past our other one to go and take that shot. I don't know why that didn't register to me. I'm almost sure he called as I was talking about all that, but that is a 129 level 3. I do like that, because this kind of weight range I want to say used to make gold, because a lot of Kudu would make gold actually. Most even kind of decent Kudu were well into the gold range, so it is good to see kind of the variety. And I think that means, you know, things like maybe an albino gold Kudu or a melanistic gold Kudu potentially are going to be a lot more sought after, I would say, because it is no longer just basically every male Kudu being a gold, which that kind of goes all the way back to the old scoring system, but even with the legacy racks, they kind of were that way. And this was, of course, another just kind of average size level 3. 124 in bronze, so I guess for one, our second shot didn't connect, but then we saw how fast he started to go down, so it makes a lot more sense that those lung shots were insta drops when the intestines brought him down as quickly as it did. Just kind of another look at the different variations we can see for the horns, and I do feel like there's a visible difference in the mass from this one to the other level 3s, kind of like around the bases and at the lower measurement points. I guess it would be like the D and E parts of the score. Like, they really seem to add up, whereas his potentially F and G, or at least G score, is a lot lower. I mean, the mass just tapers off a lot. I like to see that kind of thing where they aren't all kind of like a cookie cutter, you know, set of horns that just vary maybe a tiny bit in length. I really think they made the mass vary there, which is important, obviously. As I was saying, that's a big part of where the score comes from. So yet again, another pretty good looking Kudu, 134 to 147 for that guy. I'm not so sure if there is another buck around here, because I had a lower weight estimate track in this particular herd as well, but if we can go ahead and drop that one at least, we can go and take a look at, obviously, the kind of better looking horns of what may be around, and I guess they were just down in there further. There may have been 2. On level 2, and I thought one of the others looked better than that. Maybe it was just a couple of other does, but at least we got the best one of the bunch. I think we might have a little bit of a different coloration on these horns compared to the last level 4. Like, they look a little bit darker, and I actually do kind of prefer this color, so I'm not sure we'll be able to tell from here. That is another 141, so roughly the same size, but I'm almost sure those horns are darker. And I think one way to definitely find out is going to be by mounting it. So we'll probably go to the second lodge and kind of compare those two when we head back. But traction for about a kilometer, a 91 to 105 kg track turned out to be 92 is always unfortunate, but I mean, kind of like what I was talking about at the beginning. I was hoping from the bit of hunting we did on stream to maybe have some decent respawns, and even if those particular kudu didn't turn out to be anything special, the more that we shoot today, the better our odds eventually of getting a diamond. And you know, as much as I've always liked the kudu and as much as I like to have them in the trophy lodge, I think all the legacy horns are just going to be out because these look so much better. We'll definitely have a good number to replace. So this is kind of just a temporary display, but I wanted to kind of just get a better look and see. So this would have been the first one that we shot. I think actually maybe using the camera is going to help us a little bit just to get zoomed in rather than kind of walking up and having like a weird angle looking up at them. I'm not actually sure he does have lighter horns. The other one is just behind here. This guy might actually have the lighter coloration, which it could have been the lighting in the areas they were laying. They definitely are different, which still kind of, I guess, proves the point, but I guess I had them backwards in terms of which one was the darker coloration on the horns, but I do think they look a whole lot better, and I've seen some of the diamonds posted around the community. I've not actually seen one much above that 150, 151 mark, so I wonder how big they actually get and if there's a chance they could get bigger than what I've seen posted, but thus far, I think they are a whole lot better. And a couple of things with Mississippi and these guys getting their TruRACS. Number one, if we ever get another Africa map and they both kind of tie into this, we have the alligators. I think crocodiles would be an amazing addition to something like that. And then the other side of it is, I mean, we've got more accurate lesser kudu horns. Could we get greater kudu horns? Obviously a whole lot bigger, kind of based on that. I'm hoping for that kind of thing. I actually might do a kind of Call the Wild wishlist video here sometime soon, just to kind of see what you guys think. And who knows, maybe making a video about that could make something happen sometime down the road. But anyway, I think that is going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.